Vein 0.016 is now live on Steam. You can download this update for free, as always, from our Steam store page. This is a pretty large update, so this update summary doesn't cover everything, but we've picked what we think are the biggest new features to show you. Let's get into it. We've overhauled the crafting and cooking systems. These were one of our biggest criticisms since we launched the game, and we took what we learned from it to make this new version. Crafting now involves adding specific recipes into a queue. The queue pulls from the workbench's inventory when added, and after some time the result appears there. For crafting, objects are made when the window is open, and for cooking, recipes are cooked while the stove or fireplace is hot. We've rebalanced stat requirements for a lot of features in the game. Certain buildable utilities and fortifications now have stat requirements to be built, and some recipes have stat or schematic requirements. We've changed the behavior of a lot of base security features. Enhanced locks are no longer pickable and require the key to access. Car locks can be changed, locks can be cloned if they're on something inside your utility cabinet radius, and the back doors of cars, buses, and trucks are now protected by the car's lock. We've added a ton of new buildables to the construction menu. These include, but are definitely not limited to, a charcoal kiln which produces charcoal out of logs, a weather gauge, a windmill that generates electricity, various storage containers for specific items, a sprinkler that automatically waters plants when hooked up to a fluid source, and more. We also changed how the utility cabinet works. Instead of storing anything and everything with infinite capacity, it now only stores materials required for base upkeep. Don't worry though, we went over construction materials and significantly reduced the weight of important ones, so you can safely keep them on your person without getting too encumbered. We've improved textures and art across the board. We've restored several high-quality original resolution textures, which were downscaled early on due to performance concerns. We've replaced several brands and signage, added some custom billboards to the world, and generally fixed some placeholder textures. We also added pet photos to the game, which are unique on photo frames. If you have a pet and you want their photo in the game, please submit it on our Discord, where we have a channel dedicated to them. Finally, we fixed a lighting issue that was mistakenly disabled, resulting in higher contrast shadows in nooks and crannies. We increased the render distance of trees and forests. This should have no performance impact. The landscape has received overhauled textures, and we've improved our zombies' appearance with higher resolution textures. We added the ability to play videos from the internet or from your PC on TVs. This is off by default to prevent abuse, so you'll need to enable it in your game settings. We added washing machine functionality. It can use detergent to clean clothes faster. A segment selection dropdown has been added to the chat box. Many multiplayer players mistakenly didn't specify global chat using chat commands as they were simply unaware of it. This should help with that awareness. Vehicle brakes have been improved and made quite strong, at least on dry ground. In the winter or during rain, it's a different story. We added some new inventory item icons to items in the game. Icons were originally meant to distinguish different segments, but we found that this wasn't communicated well, so we just decided to have custom icons per item. We added the ability for admins to ban players. This functionality was missing because when we first made the admin system, nobody was playing multiplayer. That's now changed, and a ban system is necessary. Expect better control over bans in the future. We added spray paint to Vein. You can now use spray paint cans to tag the sides of buildings with a variety of colors and messages. We added a new UI for wiring things up. It displays consumptions and generations, as well as anything the object is wired into, whether that's the electric grid, natural gas tanks, a water main, etc. We also improved the wiring UI to indicate directionality with a marquee. We've improved and replaced soundscapes across the board. You will now hear region-appropriate birds during the day, and crickets and insect chirps at night. There's now sound underwater, and some rivers and lakes have received audio passes. On that note, we've also added missing search sounds to all containers and improved audio where we could. Overall, there are a lot of features in this update, as well as performance fixes and bug fixes in general. We encourage you to check the full changelog on Steam, the link is in the description. We also encourage you to try out the update when you can. If you like it, consider adding it to your Steam wishlist, as this helps us with visibility. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Your new